We're rediscovering human body and human life. The most advanced, cutting-edge medical science.
It is tangible.
Very tangible. If you don't have energy, you're not alive.
Why is it only at the end of life that people are asking these questions?
It's a reality check. Bottom line is human relationship is a relationship between spirit or souls.
We can't see the air around us, but we can feel it. We walk in it, we breathe it in, and we can't live without it. So what about energy? Not the energy we make to power our homes, our cars, and our phones, but the energy that keeps our hearts beating. We can't see that either, or can we? For thousands of years, energy has been utilized by traditional medicine as a force that helps and heals us. But what exactly is it, and how can we use it? These are big questions and we needed big answers. So we spoke to a medical energy expert, Dr. Jingduan, who is dedicated to keeping our brains clear, our hearts strong, and our energy flowing.
The key components of living human being is the energy. What do you mean by energy? You know, people have trouble to comprehend that, but actually energy is what keeps us alive and functional. It really means the air we breathe in, the food we eat, they all transform into energy, right? And our voice, our body temperature, our heartbeat, our lung breathing, our bowel movements, our thoughts, and our emotions.
So it is tangible then?
Very tangible. If you don't have energy, you're not alive.
All doctors to the ER.
The first thing you come to doctor office, what do? They measure your vital signs, your body temperature, your heart, your blood pressure, your breathing. And what are they? They're actually the signs of energy. And it's a vital life energy, right?
Of course.
And also if you complaining about any chest pain or anything, the doctor will do what? EKG. You know,
Yeah.
that's measure your electronic activity of your heart or the EEG in your brain. That is all human biological energy. So that part has to be addressed. Very few people will deny that they have a soul or spirit, right? But people don't quite understand what's the relationship between their body and their souls. Inside the human body, there is a spirit or soul living in it. That's really make us different, make us alive. So we always, as a psychiatrist, we always emphasize people should have eye contact when they're talking to each other. Why do we need eye contact? Because we believe eyes is a window of your spirit.
Oh, or the soul. Do you see the soul and the spirit as the same thing?
That's right. So when people have eye contact, they have a soul-to-soul conversation or communication. So bottom line is human relationship is a relationship between spirit or souls. There are similarities between moving cars on the street and the walking human beings. And each of them have 4 parts. And one is the body. The second is chemistry. The third is energy. The number 4 for the car is the driver.
There you go.
And for human is the soul.
Uh-huh.
You see that?
Right.
That's kind of analogy there. But the problem with the confusion come to human soul or spirit is that the human driver is visible. You can see them. But the human spirit or soul, you can't. Human energy, we can't even see it. Just like air, we don't see it. The air does exist, and we can't live without it. So that's one confusion. Another confusion is you can't drive a car until you're 18 or 16, right?
Right.
You already had life outside the car, before the car, right? You also know you have your parents, you have your house, and you come to the car and you use the car to achieve certain functions. And you know you're going to get out of the car and come home and you're not stay inside the car.
That's
so
right.
you're not confused. You separate yourself from the car very well. But the human soul is not like that. It's almost like you're throwing a newborn baby into a car and lock the door. Never let the baby come out.
That's scary.
And feed them there, grow up them there, and until they can drive the car. And suddenly they can drive the car, they can see the part of the world through windows and the mirrors. That's all they can see. And they don't know why they were there. They don't know they're separate from the car. They think they're part of the car. They don't know where the car is going to and why they're driving the car, why they're even inside the car. They have no idea. I think that's how confused a human spirit, a human soul is like. And it's also very hard to convince them they have a home outside the car, they have a parents that produce them. You know, they can come home after that, they're not part of the car, and there's a reason for them to do certain things. Imagine if a driver is confused, if a driver is drunk, if a driver is reckless, and what happened to the cars? When you brought a car to a car shops, they don't care about driver. They're only trying to fix the car. That's exactly what we doctors do today. We only fix the cars. We don't care about the driver. So the medicine that doesn't recognize, appreciate, and help the driver of human body, meaning human soul and spirit, is not really helping that person enough.
What
Does
an
it make
analogy.
sense?
It does, it does.
I'm trying my best to do that because it's very hard to communicate that. There's a way you define a person's spirituality. It's coming from a very traditional medical textbook. There's a textbook called Current Diagnosis and Treatment.
And this is an ancient textbook?
No, this is a modern medical textbook called Current Diagnosis and Treatment. They update it every year. And in this book, there's a chapter called End Life Care.
Like palliative care?
Yeah. And then they have a section called Spirituality. They have a definition, how you define somebody's spirituality. Your answer to the following 5 questions define your current spirituality. The number 1, what is the meaning and the purpose of your life? No matter what your answer is, that's part of your spirituality. The second, what is your relationship with the universe? And what is your relationship with the people around you?
These are big questions.
Yes, whatever your answer is, that's part of your spirituality. The third, is there a high power? If there is high power, what is your relationship with the high power?
And this is in a medical
Textbook. Number 4, is there past lives? Is there future lives, afterlives? Whatever your answer is, that's your spirituality right now. And last but not least, what is your understanding about hardships, tribulations, aging, illness, and death?
Like the whole life cycle.
Right.
Okay.
And your answer is your current spirituality. And it may change, it may evolve, but that's how you define it. I found it was fascinating, and that's what I use. But I just feel like it shouldn't be in the section of end life care.
Why is it only at the end of life that people are asking these questions?
Because people are so confused and it's hard to find answers.
Or it's scary to think about
It's scary,
those things.
so as a human being, including myself, we're constantly trying to distract ourselves from answering those questions or facing those questions until we have to. That's the end of life because we have nothing else to look forward to. And then we began to come back to the square one, saying, hey, why have lived here for so long? And where am I going? And why? And things like that. So I feel like this section should be at the beginning of the life, not end of the life.
What do you think
Yeah.
would happen if those questions were asked in someone's 20s, 30s, 40s?
That's one of the things I do in my practice. I can't fix people's spirituality, but I want people to recognize that is an important part of life. What you believe determine how you perceive the world and the life events, how you interpret the significance and the meaning of them. And your perception of those things determine how you feel about it. If it's a bad thing, you'll be angry. If it's a good thing, you'll be happy, right? And then how you feel determine how you're going to react, respond to it emotionally, right? And behaviorally. And your emotion and behavior, we know in modern medicine, that affects our entire biochemistry, energy, and even structure. So that is really interconnected. So that's why these 4 dimensions of health, structural health, the chemical health, energetic health, and spiritual health can never be separated. And that's what integrated medicine is about, in my opinion.
That term, integrative medicine, so there's different forms of medicine, there's different forms of therapy and treatment. In layman's terms, what are the differences?
Okay, well, you have heard about alternative medicine. So people means use one medicine to replace the other. And then people say you can't really replace the other, you can work well together with other. So there's a term called complementary medicine. So alternative and complementary medicine often go together. And then very often the doctors began to practice alternative and complementary medicine like myself, but we also use conventional medicine as well. So we decide to say, okay, it's better to call it integrative medicine because you integrate all form of therapeutic modalities together.
So you're a doctor of all of these forms of medicine?
Not all, but I'm a board-certified psychiatrist. In my former life, I was a neurologist. I did research on clinical psychopharmacology at Oxford. Besides that, I'm the 5th generation of Chinese medicine practitioners.
Wow.
So that's coming all together.
When was the Yang Institute started and why?
2005, and at that time I called the Tao Institute of Mind-Body Medicine.
Tao, T-A-O.
T-A-O.
Okay.
And people thought it was meaning Taoism or Tao School of Life Cultivation. Actually, Tao is also my real family name. My grandfather's family name is Tao, and my grandmother's family name is Yang.
Is that good fortune?
Not really. Second World War, my father was fighting the Japanese, and it was for security, safety reasons for the entire village. He changed his name. So I have 7 siblings, so 8 of us. So half of us was Tao and half of us were Yang. Over the years, people get confused. They're coming looking for Dr. Tao. So we changed it to the Yang Institute of Integrative Medicine.
Tell me about the cutting edge.
If you have to ask me what is the cutting edge medicine we're practicing, is actually the ancient Chinese medicine.
So the most advanced and modern is the oldest?
Correct.
Oh, interesting.
In my opinion, the ancient Chinese medicine came from a very advanced science and technology in the previous civilizations. And because whoever created Chinese medicine, they had a capacity to visualize human energies and the human energetic structures so they can see it, either through technology or something else. So they're detailed, mapped out.
Like all the meridians?
Yes.
Those things were mapped out
Yeah.
a long time ago?
Long time ago. So we just inherited it. So I don't believe we Chinese invented it, we inherited it. So that's why it showed up on the first place was a complete system, it's a book. It describes everything. Not like modern medicine, we start from scratch and we accumulate our knowledge. We're still accumulating our. Every 10 years we tell people what we knew 20 years ago was wrong. But we're very proud because we discovered it, right? So actually we're rediscovering human body and human life, to be honest. So that's why I said the most advanced cutting edge medical science is actually the ancient Chinese medicine. Because every new discoveries in modern medical science is bring us to closer to what ancient Chinese medicine been saying about health and life. Almost every problems that we have, there are herbal remedies for it. So that empower doctors and psychiatrists like myself. I don't have to wait for a new drug to be developed. For constipations and for the kidney energy deficiencies, you know, when people are getting old, they're cold, they have a water retentions, they can't transform the water into the energy, so they have frequent urinations and even trouble control their bladders. And this is the medicine for that. This has an interesting name called Free and Easy Wanderers.
Is that a translation from a Chinese?
Yeah, it's a translation specifically treating people who are depressed due to the liver energy blockage or stagnations. They also affect their digestive system. They have reflux and they have bloatings, all that. When you have less liver stagnations, you feel freed. You feel easier. So that's what it is. Chinese herbal medicine is a energetic agents. They're not chemical agents. Even though they all look like they're in bottles, they all look like pills or capsules. But this is a chemical. And this is energetic.
Oh, that's the difference.
That's the difference. And this is a single molecular. But this is hundreds, thousands of chemicals in the whole plants. And there are 12 to 25 or 30 of them mixed together, cooked together, interacted together, and that's the end results of it. So when you take them in, they're transformed into energy. They travel to the different part of your organ system. Depends on the energetic affinity of it. So it's almost like a guided treatments.
As opposed to the chemical, which doesn't move as much?
Yeah, the chemical is a chemical. I think the combination of energetic therapies and biochemical therapies and created the best results.
And in terms of potency, how would you just compare the two?
You can't compare them. And this is a chemical, this is energetic. Normally when you use energetics, it doesn't take much, you know. Yeah, it's a very powerful stuff. I always tell people, you know, acupuncture is like electronic engineering to a car as to a body.
Wow.
So how important is that? So on the other hand, all these big hospitals, they're like car shops without electronic engineers. We're not practice two medicines, Chinese, Western, no. We practice one medicine addressing the structure, chemistry, energy. Since modern medicine only 200 years old, they haven't come to the point appreciating, recognizing, or visualizing the human energetic system as Chinese medicine, ancient Chinese medicine did. And why do we have to wait for another 2,000 years, right? So we already had this body of knowledge, so let's use it.
Dr. Yang is not only the president of the American Institute for Clinical Acupuncture, he helped write the textbook on it, published by Oxford University Press.
At one time, a cardiac surgeon stopped me saying, Dr. Yang, what is acupuncture? if you scan a human body with X-ray, what do you see? He said, I will see the bones. Okay, if you scan them with CAT scan, what do you see? I see everything that has calcium in it. What do you see if you scan them with MRI? He said, I will see everything that has a water molecules in it. Imagine if you scan somebody, you can see everything at a quantum level. What do you think you might see? Shining, colored, moving energies.
Wow.
Light, okay? The organ is still the same, heart-shaped, red-colored, but it's a light. And it's circulating just like highways at night, comprehensive energetic movements. And each energy channels connect with internal organ system, which is energetic centers. And on the surface of body, they have doors and the windows communicating with the energy from outside. That's the acupuncture point. So the acupuncture is very simple. We use needles to stimulate the windows and doors and to modulate the energetic status of your internal organs through these energetic channels. The people who don't understand acupuncture, they're thinking they're stimulating muscles, they're thinking they're stimulating nerves, or even the bones, but that's not what acupuncture is about. When I put needles on each part of the body, seemingly I'm intervening in your body structure. But what I'm really intend to do is touch your body energy. But once I affect your body's energy, it's not only a physical intervention, it is emotional and a mental intervention. Some people feel more relaxed, some people feel more energized.
Okay.
And some people will complain, say, oh, I'm so tired after that. In modern life, we're overly stimulated in our brain. Our body is already tired, but we didn't want to feel it. So, but once we do acupuncture, we connect your mind with your body. Now you know how tired you are. And then now you know you should rest. You should take care of yourself. Do you see what I mean?
It's a reality check.
It's a reality check, exactly. Bring them back to reality. We have athletes who come in, get trained so they can compete better. We have top traders on Wall Street coming here. They want to keep their brain sharp.
Oh, so it's not just problems, it's also enhancement.
Yeah, enhancement. So everything we do here, from the nutrient therapy to acupuncture, the neuromodulation, neurobiofeedback, can also be used to optimize the health and the functions, and not just treating the problems. Actually, it's better to prevent problems than treating the problems. Everything we're talking about, these three, structure, chemistry, and energy, is a mortal part of our life. No matter what we do, they're going to disappear, particularly the energy, right? When energy disappears, and you still have the structure, you may still have the chemistry, but you are not alive, right?
Right, there's no pulse, there's no...
Yeah, so in a way, taking care of our mortal life, the key is to take care of our energy. That's why the energy is so important.
Thank you for watching this special episode of Life and Times on NTD Television. Don't forget to like, share and follow us on all your favourite social media platforms.